Hello, welcome to my channel, 100 Days with Kajo. Today, we're celebrating completing 100 days of Pilates. So, I did 100 days. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know for a fact that it has not been consecutive days, and all 100 days wasn't Pilates, just by itself. The days I wasn't doing Pilates, I was either doing like weightlifting, cardio, or something to just make sure I'm maintaining the gains that I got from my Pilates class. I typically go once or twice a week, depending on how the week is going and like just a number of factors. And it has been quite a journey. We started, oh my goodness, early October, I believe, or late September. I can't remember, but a lot of my workouts were outside. I would go on runs, walks, hiking, not really biking. I wanted to get back into that, but maybe in the future, and any lifting outdoors. And as the weather got colder, then I transitioned to the gym where I could do more robust weightlifting because like the weights I have at home are like 5 and 8, which is still good, but I wanted to like lift a lot heavier, and that has definitely increased my strength, and I could transfer that into my Pilates class. As far as my Pilates class, again, I went once or twice a week, typically, too early, way too early. I'd wake up at like 5 in the morning or like 5:30, and my class was at 6:30. Leave the house at 6, get there at 6:30, whatever. And every morning it was a struggle to get up and go. But once I did it, once I was there, I got energy. I felt good for the rest of the day. I wasn't tired when I left. It wasn't really, like I didn't sweat a lot, right? Like if I wanted to run errands after my Pilates class, that I could. That's something I really enjoyed. With my Pilates class, big takeaways that I got from it was that I had better mind-body connection, understanding that I need to engage my core and all the exercises that I do to protect my lower back and just my body in general. And also being able to breathe with each movement so that I'm not restricting air. I always knew that I held my breath. Even now, as I'm talking, I'm holding my breath. To breathe with each movement. And that way I can get a lot more out of any exercise that I do. So that was a huge takeaway that I got from that. And back to the mind-body connection, I realized as I was taking my Pilates class that my left shoulder would like kind of rise up, and like I would hold stress or like tension in my shoulders. So like I will like unnaturally just have my shoulders up. Like I'm at my computer, and this is how sometimes I would be, and then I'd have to force myself to be like drop. I'm like, whoa, why am I so tense? And being able to recognize that now, I'm able to fix it every time that it happens. And I did not realize how often that it happens. And that's why like I had tension around my neck and my shoulders and like just a number of things. I'm like, wow, did not realize that was a problem. I'm glad that I was able to pick that out. Another thing is I was able to find strength in my shoulder. One of the reasons why I stopped lifting for a while and I had to reincorporate it back in once I started Pilates and stuff was because I just felt pain in my shoulders and like kind of my elbows, but not really my elbow. But long story short, I could not do a push-up. Like it was uncomfortable for me to do a push-up. Possible, but like overall uncomfortable. And I used to be able to like pump out like 50 if I really wanted to, and 100 if I was really pushing myself. So I'm fighting for my life to get to 10 or 20, and I'm like, that's not right. And I stopped lifting because I thought maybe I wasn't lifting correctly, or maybe it was causing tension or pain in my shoulders. And with my Pilates class, it required me a lot of the times to open my chest and my breath and my body and like really fully extend it. And it just helped my body to really utilize a full range of motion that I wasn't really doing, or at least I thought I was doing, but I wasn't. So I was doing that, and it made my shoulders feel better, and I was able to lift better. I'm still gradually relearning how to do push-ups. I don't know if it's like I'm in my mid-20s now. So crazy. I'm in my mid-20s now. So maybe it's just like me relearning my body because I'm not a kid anymore, right? Because like you're a kid for like a majority of your life. You really are. I think now I'm just now really entering into adulthood. I'm 24 now, but I was so used to my eating habits and my exercise habits and my daily life habits as like this child in that body, and then now I'm in my grown up womanly body, which again will still continue to change, and I have to readjust my life around that. And Pilates definitely gave me a upper hand and readjusting that and feeling more confident in that. I definitely felt stronger. I definitely felt more fit. I honestly thought when I started that I wasn't gonna, not that I wasn't gonna like it, but I feared that I would be gassy because I don't know what it is, but I'm also trying to like change my diet even more, like figure out what's like making me gases or like what is making my stomach hurt. And I thought like if I get to my class, I'm gonna get gassy, I'm gonna embarrass myself. Didn't happen. Really happy about that. Never had to like fight against it, but also it was probably because I went in the morning and I didn't eat right before I went. I eat like right after, and so there's like nothing in my stomach to really like cause that gas. Versus if I were to go later on in the day, and then of course there would be like more of a problem. What else? Okay, cost wise, I think it wasn't too bad. I'll say that it wasn't too bad. At least the Pilates studios that I went to, I know that the prices can really like increase, especially if it's more complex. I will say the studio that I went to isn't like the ones that we're familiar with. Like it's very basic movements and generalized. I say basic, but like it's not as strenuous as the ones that we are familiar with or exposed to via social media or like other people when they talk about it. So the studio that I went to, which is called Studio Pilates International. I don't know, yeah, Studio Pilates International. And I think it's definitely a beginner type of studio. Like if you've never ever done Pilates, even if you've never done fitness before, and that was the type of studio that they had. And I did like it. There were a wide range of people, fitness wise, like people on the bigger end, smaller end, more experience and less experience, and you could see that a lot of the movements and exercises and classes cater to that wide variety versus like other Pilates class, which is like more like, oh, are you tier one, tier two? I don't know if it's called tier one or tier two, but like there's different classes, or different tiers. I say tiers because it's like the higher the tier, the more complicated and complex and all that stuff. And I recognize that now, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know if I'd go back to the studio that I've been going to, not because it was bad, but I think I'm a little bit above beginner. I want something a little more challenging. So if I were to do Pilates again in the future, I would aim and research for studio that cater to that. But overall, it has been fun. I've really enjoyed it. It definitely opened my eyes to my capabilities. Like there were a lot of things that I couldn't do or I wasn't as comfortable and flexible with doing that now that I take with me home. Another big takeaway is that if you can't afford to go to a reformer Pilates class, mat Pilates at home is good. Sometimes even more difficult. I think I like the idea of having a group and people there with me, so I wasn't the only one having to hold myself accountable. Sometimes you like that extra pressure of people around you to keep going. And I honestly wanted to get out the house. I didn't want to always work out in my room. And now that I again have my gym membership because it's colder, I can do it at the gym. But incorporating mat Pilates is just as good as reformer. Reformer is like maybe like a step up depending again on the studio, on the instructor, on a number of factors. But I definitely see myself continuing mat Pilates in my workout routine. I usually do that for like mobility and during my cardio days, and I lift on my other days. But loved it. Definitely recommend it. I don't know if I'll do another series for like a more complicated Pilates class, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't think there's too many here because I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm sure that if I move to a bigger city, which I feel like I will this year, we'll see, move to a bigger city, that there would be more diversity as far as the types of Pilates classes. And I urge you all to definitely look into the type of Pilates class that you want, because I've seen, back to mat Pilates, I saw this one, it was like hot mat Pilates, and that looked so intense. Those ladies were drenched. And I was doing reformer Pilates, and like I didn't really break a sweat, you know, but it was very relaxing. It was very nice to have. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's something I need to move towards, like a hot mat Pilates where it's like intense, and they had like ankle weights on, and then I think they use like regular weights as well. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I need to do that, try that out, and really like test my strength. But overall, I keep saying overall, but overall, this experience has been really nice. And I'm so glad to say that I completed this challenge. There's so many more to come. Oh my goodness. Like, it's crazy to think how the 100 days like literally flew by. And this video now, like I'm recording and uploading it fairly late. Like I finished my 100 days like a while ago, but you know, holiday madness. So I didn't really have the time for it. But it's crazy how much time flew by, and how many more things that I want to try out and do in my life. And I have like literally all the time in the world, and I can stack it on top of each other. It's exciting. It's exciting. So the series has definitely made me more excited for my channel. But I love you guys. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions you guys want me to address, please leave it in the comments and I'll make sure to answer it. This was just a quick video of my experience. If you are curious of everything Pilates related during my 100-day journey, watch my series. Go to my playlist and click 100 Days of Pilates, and you will see everything in detail. I'm trying to keep this video short because I am a yapper, but the other videos are not yap free. Okay, I love you. I'll see you guys soon.